Chase Young is one of the most powerful young pass rushers in the NFL. But before he was ever bowling through professional offensive linemen, Young was dominating under the Friday night lights. His freakish athleticism and clutch gene helped him become a highly touted recruit coming out of high school. Young's versatility on both sides of the ball, as well as being surrounded by elite talent, helped shape him into the player he is today. Let's dive in to what made Young great. Chase Young was a physical force at a young age. In middle school, Young was only 5'6", but he spent countless hours in the weight room putting in the time to become stronger and faster. He hit a growth spurt early in high school and quickly shot up. By his senior year, he was standing at 6'5" and weighed in at 235 pounds. He has his parents to thank for his size. His dad Greg is 6'10", and his mom Carla is 6 foot. That natural advantage gave him a leg up on the competition. What made Young so special though was how fast he could move even at his large size. His ability to effortlessly change directions made it difficult for offensive linemen to keep him out of the backfield. Young was athletic enough as a freshman and sophomore to start on varsity, playing offense, defense, and special teams. At a Washington, D.C. regional showcase, Young ran a 4.86 40-yard dash, but also benched 315 pounds and squatted 395. He used his elite speed to make chase down tackles and used his raw power and strength to bully offensive linemen. He would explode off the line of scrimmage and quickly force them backwards. This unique combination of size and speed made him into the NFL star we know today. Chase Young was also a threat on the offensive side of the ball. His size and speed translated well to tight end, where he occasionally suited up at Pelote High School in Laurel, Maryland. Young fit the mold of a great tight end, being tall and physical. Pelote had a run-first offense, but Young was willing to do anything to help his team win, including becoming a great blocker at the tight end position. He recognized defensive rush patterns and could counteract them better than most other tight ends. Young's knowledge of offensive blocking schemes also helped him improve at defensive end. He learned the giveaways of run versus pass blocking firsthand while battling in the trenches. When he wasn't blocking on running plays, Young developed great hands as a pass catcher. He was extremely useful in play-action packages, confusing the defense as to whether he was brought in to block or go out for a route. His speed meant defenders had to pay attention to him, a risk getting burnt for a big gain. Although Young stuck to defensive end later in his high school career, his time at tight end helped him make an even bigger impact at the line of scrimmage, often picking off tip passes or snagging throws out of the air. He made a habit of getting his arms up any chance he could and even returned multiple interceptions for touchdowns. Young's time on offense gave him a distinct skill set that helped improve his game. Chase Young transferred to DeMatha High School in Hyattsville, Maryland, entering his junior season because he wasn't getting much recruiting traction. There, he exploded onto the scene with multiple standout performances. He shined when the lights were the brightest. Young had a great junior year, but as opposing coaches and scouts began to take notice of him, pressure heightened for the future star. Opponents lined their best offensive linemen up against him, and recruiters had their eyes fixed in his direction. Instead of holding Young back, the increased pressure made him even better. DeMatha played several nationally televised games during Young's 2 years there. In his first one against Miami Central, Young tallied 3 sacks and 8 tackles in a 38-14 win. Who did he do all of that against? Offensive tackle Navon Donaldson, who would go on to be a freshman All-American at Miami. Young was at his best when he faced high-level competition. He considered himself one of the best defensive linemen in the country and wanted to prove himself under the spotlight. It's that mindset that helped him become the player he is today. In the 2015 state championship game during his junior year, Young finished with 4 tackles, including a sack and a tackle for loss. He battled an all-conference offensive tackle, but dominated the matchup. He finished that season with 19 total sacks and 27 tackles for loss. Young impressed yet again as a senior. He finished the year with an incredible 19 sacks and 37 tackles for loss, as well as 5 forced fumbles and 2 defensive touchdowns. Young helped lead DeMatha to an undefeated season as the team went 12-0 and won the state championship. In the state semifinals that year, Young forced a huge fumble in the fourth quarter and returned it for a touchdown, sealing the win for DeMatha. In this singular moment, we see a snapshot of what made Young so great. His knowledge of blocking schemes helped him recognize that The left tackle is going to block inside, giving him a free shot into the backfield. His quickness and freakish athleticism allow him to effortlessly slip right past his blocker and pounce on the quarterback. He uses his hands to snatch up the ball and race into the end zone, all when the lights are the brightest. That win earned DeMatha a spot in the state title game, where Young dominated once again with 11 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles for loss. He was a key part of the championship as he made his presence known at the line of scrimmage. Young is a certified winner, also claiming hardware on the basketball court, where he teamed up with future #1 overall NBA draft pick Markelle Fultz. The duo won a state championship together with the ultimate goal to get drafted in both of their respective sports. No matter where Chase Young went, the winning followed. Chase Young was one of the most dominant pass rushers to ever come out of high school. His sheer size, along with his speed and explosiveness, meant he lived in opponents' backfields. His versatility on offense and defense increased his knowledge of the game, and his knack for showing out when the lights are the brightest shaped him into the NFL star we know today.